Welcome back. In this video, we'll just sort of clean up the sound so we'll get the explosions working. So we had done a little bit of that code earlier, and I had put it on the ship, or sorry, I guess on the asteroids, because we did have a bit of sound here with the thrust and the shooting, which made sense because it was on the ship. One thing that I did do and was having this audio sound for the bang large, medium, and small, and putting that on there. In retrospect, because we're destroying the asteroids, it doesn't make too much sense to have it on the asteroid, because once we destroy it, the sound disappears. So I'm actually going to cut all this. So I'm going to Control X and get rid of all that sound, and we'll clean this up in a second as well. And I'm going to come to the game manager. We don't have any sound on here. I'm going to put it on here. Okay. So there we go. So I just put all those, and I will do the same thing with the asteroid. I'm going to come back, and I'm going to, we commented it out there. I'm just going to get rid of, I'm going to Control X this as well, because I'm going to use that. And I don't think we had any other sounds there. So I don't think, just double checking. No, we didn't put any sounds in there. So that'll be fine. So I'm going to go back to my, I might as well save that. Back to my game manager. So I've got all those, and here at the start, I'll get my reference to the audio source. And we'll have to put an audio source on the game manager there. Now, we've got these different sounds that we're going to play, so pretty straightforward. We just need to know when something dies, which one to play. And we've got that, right here if we've added the score. And so I think the easiest way to do it is just put a series of sort of ifs here. So if, whoops, we'll do a new line here. So if the points was equal to, so 5, right? Because that would be the small, or sorry, the large one, right? The least points was for the largest one. We will do, what did I do? Sound.play one shot. And what did I call it here? Small or something, or bang L, right? So for the large bang kind of thing. And then basically, semicolon, there we go. We'll do another one. So we have an else if the points is equal to 10. Then we will play sound.play one shot. And this time it will be the bang M. Oops, I don't need a line there. So let me Control Z that. That was better. And then just an else, right? So the only other situation where we would get the points. Now, actually, that might change. So I'm going to do another else if here. The reason why it might change is because we will have the UFO. There are UFOs. So if it's 20 points, then, okay, I think I switched the language version, yes I did, of my keyboard here. Just 1 second. There we go. There we go. And so sound.play one shot. And there are different little sounds, like there's slight variations. So we've got those 3 sounds there. So that should take care of that. Let's save it. Going back into here, I think I made those public. Let's just make sure. There they are. There's the 3 audio clips. Now I do have to put a audio source. So let's just do that while we're here. And we'll just turn that off. And then I'm going to go to my sounds, and there's my bang large, medium, and small. So there's the 3 there. So let's just take a listen here and make sure that's all working. Okay, so, so of course the fire is working. I should really turn this faster. So you do hear there was 3 different sounds. Okay, I died there, but you did hear that there was 3 different sounds. So hopefully that's working for you. Now another aspect to the sound is sort of this beeped, the doot, 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 doot kind of idea. And so I sort of looked around for some code, and I will just sort of copy and paste it into here. And maybe I'll just give you the file as well, or you can type it in, and we'll try to sort of understand a little bit what's going on here. So I'm going to actually create another little game object. I could put on the game manager, but just because it's a little bit different, I'm going to create a background music, I think, or backgrounds sound, maybe, game object. And so I'm just going to reset position. I'm going to add an audio source to it. And it's going to be sort of playing this beat, okay? So I'm going to create a new script as well with it. Actually, I'll do it right here. Create, and I'll call this maybe background music. What do I call it? Background sound. I should keep that. I think we can have it the same name. That should be okay. And once I open this up, I'm actually going to go right to the top, delete all that, and I'm going to paste this in. Now, don't worry. Like I said, I'll give this to you here. I just have to change this name because I changed it up. So background sound. Now, in sort of going through this code, basically you can control the beats per minute, and that's public, which is going to be useful. There's also a number of beats per segment. Okay, I'm not 100% sure, but I think the segments are the, we're going to have these 2 beats, so sort of see how this is. There's a couple of audio clips. This is a, which indicates like an array, a list of clips. And so we're going to have 2 spots, so 2 different beats that we can put in here. We're going to set the next event time, so how often we can, the next beat's going to be. There's a flip, and I believe this just goes between 1 and 0. There's audio source. Now, I don't know why they've got 2 audio sources, potential audio sources, but there are there. And then they've got a running, which is a Boolean, which is false. Now, at the start, I'm not 100% sure what they're doing here because they're sort of running through looking for 2 objects to put in their audio sources. And I don't think we really need this going here. So it says it looks for the player, okay, and then on the parent, it's setting that so the child's transforms parent, it's setting to the game objects transform, and then it's sort of adding, so audio source 0 is adding the audio source, and then audio source 1, it's adding the audio source, and then it's setting here next event time. So this something with audio, there's audio settings, which I haven't really done, and this DSP, which again I'm not quite aware of, but it says here it returns the current time of the audio system. So there must be a separate time for the audio, and it's going to add basically 2 seconds onto this, and it sets running to true. So if it's not running, it just returns, so it does nothing. Otherwise, okay, so if it is running, it is just going to set the time. Okay, now double is a value that's a little bit more than a float. It gives you more accuracy, and so it sets that to whatever the time is, right? This audio time. And basically, if the time, right, what it's set to +1 is greater than the next event time, and I think that gets set down here, it's going to basically change the clip, okay, and then play that one at that next time. And it's got a little bit of a debug there, so to help us understand it. Okay, and then this next event time, so we're going to add on to, okay, 60, so a minute basically, I think, because this is going to be 60 seconds, divided by the beats per minute, times the number of beats per segment. So it says place the next event 16 beats from here at a rate of 140 beats per minute, based on the value that we had there. So a little bit of math to get that to work, and then it flips between the audio sources so that the loading process doesn't interfere with one that's being played out. So I guess that just flips the audio source. So regardless, if you choose what I've got here, as I say, we're working now approximately 1 second before the time at which this should play, so we will schedule it now in order for the system to have enough time to prepare the playback at a specified time. This may involve opening, buffering a stream file, and should therefore take any worst case delay into account. And so we're not, we sort of, I guess the idea here is that we preload it so that we're ready to play when that time arrives, rather than trying to play it right when the code's running and maybe the code gets delayed a little bit. So this is trying to make it a little bit more, I would say, consistent, I guess, in the sound. So let's see if this is working. So I'm just going to go back to Unity. I've saved that. And on my background sound, and I'm going to add my background sound. The clips here, so it says audio clip. So I'm just going to grab my 2 clips. So those are my sounds, beat 1 and beat 2. And let's just take a listen, see if it's working. Now it played it once. I got 1 beep out of it. So let's just see here. And actually, it was a very, very easy fix there. The number of beats per segment was originally set to 16. So it would play 1, and then there'd be nothing. Okay, so for a while, and then it would play the next one. So I've just lowered that to 2 beats per segment. Although I'm thinking maybe just 1 would work well too. So if we listen to this. So you can hear the back and forth. And I think, if you've sort of changed this, right, the beats per minute, it's much quicker. And so that will be really useful when you want to sort of make the game a little bit, there's have a change of that beat. That actually comes up in Space Invaders as well. As you get closer to the end, like as the aliens come down, then the beats per minute increase. So this actually works out really well. Yeah, so leave it back at 140 there, but it's pretty straightforward. You've just got your beats and so on. I have to admit that code I'm not 100% sure about. I would mess around with it a bit more, but this is a case where I needed some code. I copied it. It works. And as I get a little bit further into it, I might need to modify it. Like one thing I might do, right? Like I don't think this is necessary. Whoops. I'm going to I always get that wrong way, /star, and then /. So let's just see if that was necessary. So that's what I usually do is I comment it out and then go back. I don't see this being necessary here. Let's take a look. Because we've got our audio source on here. I've got an error now. So this null reference exception. So obviously that is something there. It's obviously finding this audio source. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's using the one off the player rather than the one directly here. And I might just mess around with it. I'm not going to bore you with my messing around here, but I'm thinking that maybe, we don't have a player though, right? That's called the ship. So I'm not 100% sure where it's getting that. I'll leave it here, but we know it's working, and yeah, we've got to do a few other things as we're getting close to getting this game where I want it, and then I'll let you sort of make some modifications to it.